Okay. Jefferson County Court is now in session with our announcement docket set on today's date of August 17th of 2022. Next case that we have on the docket is cause number 329982. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Arlen James Pennell. Mr. Pennell, is that your full name?
Yes,
How are you doing, Mr. Pennell?
I've been better.
Okay, now, Mr. Pennell, I see here you have a felony case set today, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I just talked to, he had given me, he gave me a court-appointed attorney because I couldn't pay for one. And, since then, I found out that they were talking about dropping, people were gonna drop off charges.
Okay, well, I don't need to know all of that information, basically, so, now, this case, you don't have an attorney, is that correct? Okay, now you have three options. You can hire an attorney if you can afford one. If you can't afford one, you can make an application to see if you qualify for a court-appointed attorney, or you can represent yourself by waiving your right to an attorney. Now, what do you want to do?
I try to get a court-appointed.
Okay, just have a seat in one of the chairs back there. With black and yellow tape, we'll get you the form, the affidavit of indigence, and judge's explanation. Once you fill that out, we're gonna bring you back up and see if you qualify. All right. Okay. Yeah, are you ready on Mr. Doucette?
Yes, Your Honor, camera.
Yes, Mr. Doucette, would you please come forward? This is cause number 330222. Case is styled State of Texas versus Jonathan C. Doucette. Mr. Doucette, is that your full name?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll Dusson. it depends if you're in Louisiana.
Yeah, yes, right. It's actually Doucette, but never.
Doucette? Okay. How you doing, Mr. Doucette?
I'm doing okay this morning.
That's good. Mr. Doucette, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Scott Rennick. Attorney Rennick, how are you doing?
Doing great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. State is represented by Attorney Lamar Johnson. Attorney Johnson, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. How about
Yes.
yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Max. Mr. Rennick, what's your announcement in Mr. Doucette's case?
We had previously been informed that Mr. Tommy Coleman was handling this case, and I received an offer from Mr. Coleman and visited with him this morning in County Court 3.
Oh, okay.
And Mr. Doucette would be eligible for Veterans Court. And Mr. Coleman, who had given us the offer, I don't know, I'm not really sure why. I know he's not in your court, but
Yeah.
he'd originally given us the offer.
Yeah, but he was here until this Monday. Then they moved him over there.
And I went over to visit because I was like, and
Okay,
so,
that's-
and he was fine with Veterans Court, and I certainly wasn't trying to exclude anybody because I didn't know. But all I would like to do.
okay, so that was a previous offer that was made that y'all basically accepted.
Yes,
And-
we're trying to get him into Veterans Court, and I
Okay.
tried to reach Ms. Molfino, and I've been unsuccessful so far.
Okay, okay. Mr. Johnson?
The state is unopposed, Your Honor.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna reset this case to give you an opportunity, to give your attorney an opportunity to make contact with Ms. Malfino in the DA's office to see if you can get into the Veterans Court program. Okay? So now I'm thinking the signing date, so what I may do is reset this to like the second week in September, because it takes a while, if I'm not mistaken.
Once we get the application.
Second week in
filled out,
November.
We should know within a week or two if he's accepted.
Yeah,
And I can contact the court when we find out the signing date is, just so that way,
okay,
that if that's okay with the court, but I'll try to provide all the information.
but, okay, so right now I could give you a tentative
Sure.
reset,
Yes, Judge.
because what we want to do is, if you get in the program, then the case will be, I guess, continued.
Yes, Judge.
And so it usually takes a while to get in. Yeah,
It can take a month or longer after we get the application done.
Right.
There's no way, we don't have that crystal ball in our.
right. We're gonna do the second week in November.
That's ample time. yeah.
Right.
Okay, it'll be, November 18th.
Okay, it'll be fine.
November 18th, 2022. Mr. Duce, your attorney is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And I think, Mr. Rennick, this is your only case.
The only one with you, Judge.
Okay. So you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah, just sign for his reset. Yeah. Okay, this is cause number 332-782, case and style of state of Texas versus John Derek Robbins. Do we have any bond conditions on that? 332-782. And Mr. Robbins is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Robbins, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
That's good. Mr. Robbins, your attorney in this case is attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
I'm doing fine, and thank you. Good morning to you as well. Now, Mr. Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Robbins' case?
Well, Your Honor, we've received discovery on the case, and my client wishes that his case be placed on your trial docket.
Okay. Give us a reset date. Okay.
Mr. Roberts? Mr. Roberts?
Excuse me?
Can you hear me, Mr. Roberts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this time, the judge is going to turn your volume. Can you turn your volume up a little bit if you're having trouble hearing?
What, the mic is right here. Could you?
Oh, okay.
It's on this side. Yeah.
Mr. Robbins, can you hear me
Yes, sir.
better?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at this time, the judge is going to place standard bond conditions on you, which are placed on every defendant who's charged in his court with this particular type of offense, okay? So you don't need to reply to anything other than that you understand. And when you step out of the court, I'll make sure that you get copies of all the bond conditions, okay?
Yes, sir.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nothing unusual going on here. These bond conditions are placed on every person who's charged with this particular type of offense, okay? All
Okay.
right? And I'll contact you after court, when you get off work.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Robbins, I have before me a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions. And I will go over these conditions with you. And it reads, following the arrest and or accusation in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, Your Honor.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply because it only applies in the DWI case. In your case, it's not a DWI case. Now, a copy of these bond conditions will be given to your attorney. If, and you can pick it up from your attorney. Now, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked, and if your bond is revoked, you can be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand?
Yes. Now the protective order, me and my wife still stay.
Mr. Robbins, let me do this here. You have a right against self-incrimination. Anything that you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. If we can give you an opportunity to talk to your attorney could give you some advice. I guess later on, right now, we're on YouTube, but your attorney can give you some advice as to how you need to proceed, okay?
Mr. Robbins, do you remember that I just told you that you didn't need to speak at all? That he was placing standard bond conditions on you that have nothing to do with how your wife feels or how you feel about it? If you're
No,
on bond county, no,
I was
if
just
you're-
gonna, the thing is still being lifted on the 20th. That was all I was gonna say.
okay, but again, these are standard bond conditions. The judge is not picking you out. If you're on bond in county criminal court at law number 2 for family assault, class A misdemeanor, you must have these bond conditions. So
Yes, sir.
I'll contact you later and explain, but please let the judge finish and I'll contact you in private, okay?
I apologize. Sorry about
No
that, sir.
problem. I just want to take care of you. Thank you very much.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, Mr. Robbins, give us a reset date?
November 28th.
Okay, Mr. Robbins, your case will be reset to November 28th of 2022. Stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman will be given notice of your reset date. This will conclude your case. Thanks for being patient with us this morning, and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Contact.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Hold on. Oh, Ms. Pennell, did you come up? Mr. Johnson, you don't need to come up, just need to go over this with him. Now, Mr. Pennell, your full name is Arlen Pennell, is that correct? Or Arlen James Pennell? Mr. Pennell, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Pennell, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pennell, how are you doing?
Doing better.
You doing better? That's good. Now, Mr. Purnell, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials
Yes,
on the line stating that you want to apply for a court-appointed counsel?
yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Purnell, there is a signature above the line that's titled Defendant Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Purnell, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did you read the document? Okay, and did you understand what you read?
Yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Purnell, I've read your answers in these documents, and based on your answers in the affidavit of indigence, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney William Wilkerson. Our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Wilkerson. Mr. Wilkerson will also be given information on how to contact you. You're gonna stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. Once you, it's on the 4X. Once you get that information, you'll be free to leave and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
And this case is gonna be reset on the same day of your felony case. Have they reset that felony case yet?
I haven't been in there yet. You called me first before they did.
Okay. When you go down there and get that reset date, come back here. Okay. So actually, you can,
Just wait, go ahead and go over there.
yeah, go over there. That door is locked, I think. You gotta go through that, yeah.